Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing the best player from each MLB team. So let's start with the Arizona Diamondbacks, with whom I've selected Paul Goldschmidt. There's a first baseman who has been constantly batting 300. He's by far the best player. Next we have the Atlanta Braves, who are a very horrible team, but they have Freddie Freeman. Freeman, who played for Team Canada, which I'm happy about, is a good first baseman as well. That could play third. You got the Baltimore Orioles right now, who I've selected, which is pretty obvious, Manny Machado, who might not be there at the end of the year, or maybe even at the deadline. Machado's a third baseman, or not a shortstop, that is in Baltimore. Next, you got the Boston Red Sox, whom this choice is fairly obvious. Chris Sale, who is an awesome pitcher, had a tough second half, but is one of the best pitchers in the league, absolutely for sure. Next, we got the Chicago Cubs. I'm doing this alphabetically. The Cubs was a close one between Rizzo and Bryant, but I finally took Chris Bryant because of his prowesses at third base and the fact that he just had a better year last year. Next, you have the horrible Chicago White Sox, who was selected their only good player, Jose Abreu, who's a first baseman. I don't know much about him. I just know that he is the only good White Sox player. Next, we got the Cincinnati Reds, and this choice was also fairly obvious. Another Canadian named Joey Votto, who is first baseman, who loves to wear wristbands, and he bats a lot for average. He's very good. Next, we got the Cleveland Indians, aka the Windians. I'm not an Indians fan, by the way. I've selected Corey Kluber. This was a pretty hard choice between Rivera, Sondor, and Kluber, but Kluber won the Cy Young. He's just an absolutely sensational pitcher who's tough to beat. Next, we got the Colorado Rockies. For them, I've selected Nolan Arenado. I could have had Trevor Story, but I don't really think they compare. Arenado's just got a better bat and better defense. Next, we got the Detroit Tigers. This choice is obvious, too. He's the only good player. Miguel Cabrera, who, got a Triple Crown, won 2 MVPs, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, Houston Astros. I know some of the logos are halfway. It's just weird. For the Astros, it was I took Jose Altuve. I could have very well taken Carlos Correa, but I decided to go with Altuve for obvious reasons. He won the MVP. Next, we got the Kansas City Royals, whom I've selected. Absolutely nobody, because nobody is good on this team. They lost Hosmer, Moustakas, and Kane. There's nobody that is good on this team, so nobody. Next, we got the Los Angeles Angels. Mike Trout. He's the best player in the league. Enough said. But he might get replaced by Shohei Ohtani if, and only if, he's good in both pitching and hitting. It depends. Next, we got the LA Dodgers, whom this is pretty hard of a choice. I decided to finally take Justin Turner, though, because he hits it for a lot of average. And for me, that's more important than 40 homers from Bellinger or Corey Seager. Next, we got the Miami Marlins, for whom I took basically the only good player that's left. Other than Starlin Castro, I took Justin Bour. Bour is a power hitting first baseman who was extraordinary last year's Derby, but fell to Judge, like everyone did. Milwaukee Brewers, I've selected Lorenzo Cain, who they just acquired. I mean, I don't really know much about the Brewers, so I took Cain, center fielder. We got the Minnesota Twins here, who have selected their second baseman, Brian Dozier. Dozier's been with the Twins his entire career. He's been a very consistent hitter and fielder. Next, got the New York Mets, with whom I've taken the right fielder, Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce is a right fielder who was just signed by the Mets, but they had him over a long period of time. So yeah, this is my New York Yankees, my favorite team. Obviously, this could be a tie between Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge, but I finally decided to go with Stanton for the reason that he hit more homers. Hit 4 points under Judge in the average, won the MVP, except Judge could be a close second in the next few years. Now the Oakland Athletics. For them, I selected Chris Davis because he's pretty much the only good player I know on this team. So yeah, but they got good prospects, so I'll go with Davis. Next, the Philadelphia Phillies, who I also took the only good player on the team. You got Carlos Santana, who was an Indian his whole career as a first baseman, an excellent one at that. And he's pretty good. Next, you got the Pittsburgh Pirates, with whom, after Garrett Cole left, I decided to take Jameson Taillon because he had cancer he fought over, and he's still an extremely efficient pitcher. So I had to take him. Let's go to San Diego Padres. I know the logo's a bit off. I couldn't make it that much better. I took Eric Hosmer. You see that he's the only good player other than Will Myers, so yeah. Next, we got the Giants. This was a really tough one between Longoria and McCutchen, but I finally decided to take Evan Longoria. For the only reason that he's been more consistent his whole career. Sure, you got McCutchen who's won an MVP, but then I think he's had a year that's about 250. So yeah, Mariners now. I would take Ken Griffey, but he does not play anymore. Someone told me. So Robinson Cano. By the way, that was obviously a joke that I knew he didn't play anymore. Cano used to be a Yankee. He was a superstar. He still is in Seattle. Now we got the Cardinals, with who I selected Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna was acquired by the Marlins, and well, yeah, I mean, I could have very well taken that guy there. Oh, man, I don't got the name. But anyways, he just signed a contract extension. Here we got the Rays. Got Chris Archer for the Rays because the only good player, although he's a very big baby off the field. By the way, that Cardinals guy is Paul DeJong. I just couldn't find a name. Texas Rangers now. I took Adrian Beltre because, well, you know, 3,000 hits, very good, yada, 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 yada. Anyways, enough said. Now, my second favorite team, the Toronto Blue Jays. For the Jays, it was pretty hard because they got a lot of good players, and I accidentally put Justin Smoak on that picture, but it's Josh Donaldson, the best player, but Smoak is a very close second. So Donaldson's an excellent third baseman and very good. So, yeah. Nationals now, finally. Bryce Harper because he's Bryce Harper. He's the second best player. That's it. So, guys, that's it for the video. I would like to thank you guys for watching. And I hope you guys watch it. If there's anything you guys don't agree with me, in the comment section, you tell me.